In today's video, we are taking a look at the top 3 formations in FC 24. I recommend you guys try out every formation in this video so you find which one works best for you and your playstyle. So make sure to drop a like and subscribe so you can come back to this video later on. Let's start off with the second variation of the 4-1-2-1-2. But first, this video is sponsored by Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is the ultimate city builder and strategy game. Set in an alternative 20th century world, Cyberpunk engages in epic battles on land, sea and air, or you can use your economic power to emerge as the ultimate victor. Cyberpunk takes inspiration from similar games in the genre and combines them all into one. Cyberpunk will release later this year, but you can play the demo today using the link in the description. And of course, thank you to Cyberpunk for sponsoring this video. The 4-1-2-1-2 might be the most well-rounded formation in this video. Great when getting forward, but also solid defensively. Starting off with defensive style, you want to keep this unbalanced, and that will be the same for every formation in this video. Balance is by far the best defensive style in the game. All the other defensive styles seem to just hurt the way you play more than they help, so balanced is by far the best. Which you want to bring this down a slight bit down to 40. Depth, bring this up to 65. A lot of people still like to play with 72 depth. If you don't already know, 72 depth makes your players automatically press and do an offside trap without you needing to do anything. But what you might not know is 65 depth also does the same thing, it's just a lot less aggressive, so it's a lot less likely that you're going to get caught out defensively. Build a play, you want to have this on balance. Fast build a play is also pretty good, but for the majority of people I recommend using balance. Transcuration on direct pass is by far the best transcuration in the game. If you don't know, direct pass pushes your players forward, so your opponent's team has to drop back, so it makes it a lot easier for you to attack and trap your opponent in their own box, which you want to bring this down all the way to 35. Having the width this low is going to bring your opponent's team quite narrow, giving plenty of room for your fullbacks to push forward. Players in the box have this on 6. I think that's the same for every formation in this video. Corners and free kicks is so important that you have your corners on 3 and you play them out short. When you deliver a corner normally into the box, there's a pretty big chance that your opponent's going to win the ball back and be able to counter attack. When you play it out short, you have your opponent exactly where you want them. They're trapped within their own box, and it's a good chance for you to reset. So one of your strikers, in this example I have it as my left striker, but it doesn't matter which one you choose. I have him as a more supportive striker, so you have him on get in behind and stay forward. And your right striker for me is stay central, get in behind and stay forward. So when deciding which one will be the more supportive striker and which one will be your main striker, just go down to finishing. Whichever one has better shooting stats should probably be your main striker. Down to the cam, now you want to have him on stay forward and get into the box for crosses. I really recommend using a player that has good shooting and the finesse playstyle plus for this position, and if you can get a player with 5-star weak foot, that will also be a big help. I find that I get a lot of my goals from the cam because of the finesse playstyle plus. He's always in that perfect position for the finesse shot, so if you can get a player with the finesse playstyle plus, you will find you'll really be able to make the most of this formation. Down to your 2 centre mids, you want to have these both on stay on the edge of the box for crosses and cover centre. Your CDM on stay back while attacking, cover centre and deep line playmaker. And down to your left and right back, probably the most important position in this team, you want to have these on stay back while attacking and overlap. It's so important when using this formation that you're hitting up on the D-pad and then left. That will tell your left and right back to start getting forward so you can exploit all of that space on the wing. Because we had the width in this formation so narrow, there is so much space on that wing. Using the D-pad is so much better than the player instructions because you can tell your left and right back when to get forward and when to stay back. So let's move on to the 4-1-4-1. The 4-1-4-1 is one of the best formations in the game right now because you can dominate games using this formation. Using these tactics, you'll be playing high tempo tiki-taka football and you should be getting 60-70% possession every single game using these tactics. So defensive style, we have that on balance again, width on 50, depth around 60-65, like I said, is perfect. Build a play on balanced. Transcuration, we're going to have that on possession. Possession is what's going to help you achieve that tiki-taka style of play. Width, bring this all the way down to 15. Like the 4-1-2-1-2, you want to have this very narrow so your left and right back have plenty of room to get forward. Players in the box have this on 6, and corners and free kicks, like I said, have these on 3 and 2. Your striker, have him on stay central, get in behind behind and stay forward. Your striker is a strange one in this team because you're not going to get a lot of your goals from your striker. Your goals are mainly going to come from your left and right mid. So for your left and right mid, you want to have them on comeback on defense, cut inside and get into the box for crosses. Because you have your left and right mid on cut inside and the width is so narrow, these are going to play more like strikers. So when you're picking players for this position, make sure they have good finishing. This is where the majority of your goals are going to come from in this position. And because they're cutting inside, that's going to leave all the space out on the wing for your left and right back. Have both your left and right back on overlap. And if you're playing with a tall striker, I really recommend your left and right back has the whip cross playstyle plus. Moving on to your left centre mid, this is going to be a more box to box player, so make sure this player has good defensive stats. You want to have him on stay back while attacking, get into the box for crosses, and because your left and right back will be getting forward, you want to make sure he's on cover wing. Your right centre mid is going to be a player that you get a lot of your goals from, have him on get into the box for crosses and just make sure he's also on cover wing. And your CDM, you want to have him on cut passing lane, stay back while attacking, cover centre and deep line playmaker. Your CDM is so important in this team. Whenever you're getting down them wings and you hit a wall, make sure to give the ball back to your CDM. That just gives the game an opportunity to reset so you can attempt another attack. And last up we have the 4-4-2. This is definitely the best attacking formation in this video. This 4-4-2 is very attacking and very high pace. Using this formation will definitely lead to a lot of high scoring games. So defensive style once again is on balance with bring this down to 40 and depth, like I said, 65 is about perfect. Build the play on balance, chance creation, we're going to use direct pass again. Width, bring this down just a bit to 45. Players in the box, we're going to have that on 6, and corners and free kicks, like I said, is so important that you're using 3 and 2. So like the 4-1-2-1-2, we're going to have a supportive striker and a more attacking striker. It doesn't matter which side your supportive striker is on and which side your attacking striker is on. For me in this formation, I have my left striker as the more attacking option. He's on stay central, get in behind and stay forward. Because this striker is on get in behind, it's going to really help push back your opponent's defense. This will be the main goal scorer in your team and the majority of your assists will come from the right striker. You want to have your right striker on stay central and come back on defense. This striker will play more like a cam in game, so it is so important that this player has good passing stats. And I would say try out using a player in this position that has the incisive pass playstyle plus. This player will be dropping back quite a bit, picking up the ball and giving it out to the left mid, the right mid and the striker. So the passing stats is quite important on this player. So your left and right mid, quite similar to the 4-1-4-1, you want to have these on comeback on defense, cut inside and get into the box for crosses. Make sure you do not use getting behind on these players because now since the new update, getting behind really does mean your players will be trying incredibly hard to get in behind, and because the striker is already set to get in behind, he's going to push your opponent's defense back, giving plenty of room for your left and right mid to cut inside and pick up the ball. And because there's so much space on the wing, make sure you're using that D-pad tactic that I showed, up and then left, and that will bring your left and right back forward. But just make sure you're turning this on and off throughout the game when you need it. Normally I'd have this on until I'm up by 2 goals. Once you go up by 2 goals, you really do not need to have this feature on, so make sure you just remember to turn it off. And for your left and right back, you want to have them stay back while attacking and overlap. For your 2 centre mids, you want to have one of these as a more defensive player and one as a more attacking player. For your more defensive one, have him on stay back while attacking, stay on the edge of the box for crosses and cover centre. And I'd also say for play styles, you really want to make sure you have a player in this position with intercept plus. As you can see here, I have Douglas Luiz and Havertz, and even though Havertz has better defensive stats, I'd much rather use Douglas Luiz in that defensive position because he has intercept plus. And for your box to box centre mid, you want to have him on stay on the edge of the box for crosses and cover centre. And that's everything you need to know. Like I said, drop a like and subscribe to the channel so you can come back to this video later on.